If you're married, Social Security is hiding a second paycheck from you, and most couples walk right past it. Here's the secret the government never spells out. A husband and wife don't claim Social Security as two separate people. You claim as a team. And when you coordinate it right, you can pull tens of thousands of dollars more out of the exact same work record. One of you probably earned a lot less, maybe took years off to raise kids or care for a parent. You might think your Social Security check is just small, end of story. It's not. Because of a rule called the spousal benefit, the lower earner can collect up to half of the higher earner's check instead of their own, for life. For a lot of couples, that's an extra $500, $800, even $1,000 a month that they never claimed. Money they were fully entitled to. And there's a second layer almost nobody coordinates. When one of you passes, the survivor keeps only the bigger check. So how you time the two of you together doesn't just pay you now, it protects whoever's left. I'm Ray. Today, how spousal benefits actually work, the deemed filing trap that killed the old loophole, who should claim early and who should wait, and how Richard and Martha squeezed thousands more out of one work record. Quick and important. I'm not a CPA, attorney, or financial advisor. This is education, not financial advice. The right move depends on both your work records, your ages, and your health. So always check your own numbers at ssa.gov and bring a licensed professional into your situation. So let's start with what a spousal benefit actually is, because the name confuses people. Here's the rule. If your husband or wife earned more than you can collect a benefit worth up to 50% of their full retirement benefit, their number at 67, instead of being stuck with your own smaller check. Say Martha's own benefit, from her own work record, is $900. But her husband Richard's full benefit is $2,800. Half of his is $1,400. So Martha doesn't take her $900, she takes the $1,400. That's $500 more every month for the rest of her life. One thing to get straight, because people get this wrong. It's not two checks stacked on top of each other. Social Security pays your own benefit first, then tops you up to the spousal level. You land at 50% of your spouse's check. You don't get your full check plus 50% of theirs. Still a huge raise for the lower earner, just not double. 3 rules decide whether you get this, and they trip people up constantly. Rule 1. Your higher earning spouse has to have claimed their own benefit before you can collect the spousal top-up. You can't claim on their record while they're still waiting. Rule 2, and this one saves you from a costly mistake. The spousal benefit tops out at 50% at your full retirement age, and it does not grow after that. Those 8% delayed credits we talked about last time, they do not apply to spousal benefits. So if you're collecting as a spouse, there is zero reason to wait past 67. Waiting just leaves money on the table. Rule 3. Claim the spousal benefit early and it's cut. Permanently, just like your own. At your full retirement age, you get the full 50%. Claim at 62, and it drops to about 32.5% of your spouse's check. Locked in for life. Now, if you've read older retirement articles, you may have heard of a brilliant trick called the restricted application. I have to tell you it's gone. Because people still try it and get burned. The old move was this. Claim only the spousal benefit at 67, collect that for a few years, and let your own benefit keep growing 8% a year until 70. Then switch to your own, bigger check. 2 bites of the apple. But a 2015 law killed it with something called deemed filing. If you were born after January 1, 1954, which is basically everyone retiring now, the day you file for one benefit, you're treated as filing for both at once. Social Security just pays you the larger of the two. You can no longer pick the spousal check and quietly let your own grow on the side. So if an old blog or a well-meaning friend tells you to file restricted, that door is bolted shut for you. Don't build a plan on it. Here's where couples leave the most money behind, and it has nothing to do with spousal benefits while you're both alive. It's the survivor benefit. When one of you passes away, the household does not keep both checks. The survivor keeps the larger of the two, and the smaller one simply ends. And this is the part that changes everything. That surviving check is based on what the higher earner was getting, including every delayed credit they earned by waiting. So when the higher earner waits until 70 and grows their check to 124%, they're not just padding their own benefit, they're permanently raising the floor for their spouse, for what could be another 10 or 15 years alone. And unlike the spousal benefit, survivor benefits are not locked by deemed filing. A widow or widower can take one benefit now and switch to the other later, which sets up a powerful timing move we'll get to. That flexibility creates the one, real, two-bite strategy left for couples, but only after one spouse has passed. Because survivor benefits aren't tied to your own, a surviving spouse can claim one check early and let the other grow, then switch. For example, a widow can take a reduced survivor benefit as early as 60, about 71% of her late husband's amount, to bring in income now, while her own retirement benefit keeps growing 8% a year up to 70. Then at 70, if her own check is finally larger, she switches to that. Or she runs it the other way, take her own smaller check first and switch to the survivor benefit later. The point is, survivor benefits give a flexibility that spousal benefits no longer do. It's worth real money, and it's exactly the kind of move you want a professional to time for you. Two traps that quietly eat into all of this. Trap 1. Claiming early while you or your spouse is still working. If you take any benefit, your own, spousal, or survivor, before your full retirement age and you're still earning a paycheck, there's an earnings test. In 2026, earn more than about $24,500, and they hold back $1 of benefits for every $2 over the line. You get it back later, but it's a strong signal. If there's still a real paycheck coming in, claiming early usually makes no sense. Trap 2. The tax angle. And this ties straight into our last few videos. Spousal and survivor checks count as income too. They feed into the same provisional income formula that decides how much of your Social Security gets taxed, the tax torpedo from video 8. And when one spouse dies, the survivor usually files single, on lower tax brackets, exactly like the widow's tax we covered in video 5. A bigger survivor check helps cushion that, but a CPA should map the taxes and the timing as one plan. Let's bring it home with Richard and Martha. Richard was the higher earner at $2,800 a month at full retirement age. Martha spent years raising their kids, so her own check is just $900. Their CPA mapped it as one team plan, not two solo decisions. First, the spousal top-up. Instead of Martha's $900, she'd collect up to half of Richard's, $1,400. That's $500 extra a month she almost left behind. Then the timing. Martha claimed a bit earlier to bring income into the house, while Richard let his own check grow all the way to 70, up to about $3,470. Because remember, his bigger check isn't just for him. When Richard passes, Martha drops her own check and keeps his, $3,470 a month for the rest of her life, instead of $1,960 if he'd grabbed his at 62. That's over $1,500 a month in survivor protection, just from coordinating two ages instead of guessing separately. 5 steps to claim as a team with your eyes open. Step 1. Pull both your numbers. Each of you log in at ssa.gov and look at your own benefit at 62, 67, and 70. You need both records on the table. Step 2. Identify the higher earner and protect that check. That's the one that becomes the survivor benefit, so growing it usually matters most. Step 3. Lower earner. Check the spousal top-up. If half your spouse's check beats your own, you're likely claiming on their record, and there's no reason to wait past your full retirement age for it. Step 4. Mind the traps. Still working? The earnings test usually means wait. And don't build a plan on the old restricted application trick. Deemed filing closed it. Step 5. Run it once with a CPA or fee-only advisor. Spousal, survivor, taxes, and 2 different ages all move together. A pro can find the combination that pays your household the most over both your lifetimes. You built this benefit together, over a lifetime. The goal isn't for each of you to grab a check as fast as you can. It's to claim as a team, so the 2 of you, and whoever's left, are taken care of for as long as you both live. If this made spousal and survivor benefits click, hit subscribe. I break down one retirement money topic every single week. Tell me in the comments, are you and your spouse planning to coordinate your claiming ages, or were you about to file separately? Next time, if you or your spouse worked as a teacher, firefighter, or any government job with a pension, you need to hear this. 2 old rules called WEP and GPO used to slash or erase your Social Security and your spousal benefits, and a brand new law just repealed them. If that's your family, you may be owed a bigger check starting now. Don't miss it. I'm Ray. Take care of your money and take care of each other. See you in the next one.